A very beautiful morning to you, everyone, and happy new year. Welcome to 2026. So, if you're just waking up from crossover services, family hangouts, jollof overload, fried rice overload, or still asking yourself, are we really in January? Then you are not alone because I am seriously asking the same question. Are we really in January already, 2026? So, welcome to the recap with Dara on Idea TV, where we slow things down just enough to make sense of what's actually mattered, what got people talking, and what stayed on everyone's timeline as the year turned. So, no shouting headlines, no long grammar, just context, gist, and the stories behind the noise. So, we'll get into it after the short break. Stay with us.
5G technology. 5G technology promises to be a game changer by delivering ultra-fast internet speeds, low latency, and the ability to connect millions of devices seamlessly. It's going to fuel the future of smart cities, autonomous vehicles, and IoT devices, allowing them to communicate in real time. However, 5G rollout isn't without hurdles. High costs of infrastructure and regulatory issues in some regions have slowed down implementation. By 2026, the 5G market is expected to be valued at $667.90 billion, with the US, China, and South Korea leading the change. The challenge? Cybersecurity risks and data privacy will remain top concerns as more devices become connected.
Alright, so welcome back from that short break. Now we are starting off with Tiwa Savage. So this moment caught a lot of people off guard. Tiwa Savage, a global star, hit maker, woman that has done stadiums and world tours. She broke down in tears while performing Somebody's Son at the We Love Ya festival in Cotonou, Benin Republic. I just feel like vibing to that song. Somebody's song go find me one day. So this wasn't just drama, it wasn't stage acting. You could just feel that moment, like the emotion was just there. So the song itself is about love, longing, vulnerability, and in that moment, Tiwa Savage struggled to continue with that performance. Now, fans were cheering her on, encouraging her, and almost holding space for her emotionally. So, now here is what resonated in that particular event. The fact that Tiwa Savage has been open about her struggles with love. She has been divorced since 2018 and successful by every global standard, yet very human. And I think that's what people connected with. The reminder also that success doesn't cancel loneliness, and fame doesn't automatically heal emotional wounds. So sometimes, even on the biggest stage, real life still finds you. Yes. So let's now talk about a story that had the internet shaking during the week. A Ghanaian prophet, Noah, had warned that December 2025, 25th of December 2025, would mark a global catastrophe, that there will be floods, destruction, and end of the world. But guess what? Christmas came, Christmas went, and nothing happened. So what did he say next? That God had postponed the disaster. And according to him, prayers and fasting bought humanity more time. And instead of panicking, that people should relax and enjoy themselves. And yes, it got even more serious when he appeared at the Sakode's Rapaholic concerts, telling the crowd to party because the end had been delayed. So social media, as always, it's exploded. Some people were laughing at the whole issue, some were angry, and others asked a very serious question about accountability, religion, and fear-based prophecies. So it is one of those stories that sits at the intersection of faith, influence, and responsibility, especially in a region where people take prophetic words very seriously. Now, on a sad note, our next story, it's really a heavy one. And this was about Anthony Joshua. We know him to be a heavyweight champion. He was involved in a car accident on the Lagos-Ibadan expressway. His SUV collided with a stationary truck. Now, Joshua sustained minor injury. That was the information we got. But tragically, 2 members of his team lost their lives in that accident. Now, that is the part that really stopped people and it got people talking. So he was hospitalized and later discharged. Yes, he has been discharged and even visited the funeral home with his mother to pay final respect to his friends. So what made this hit harder was how normal everything seemed just as earlier. Then clips of Joshua and his team laughing, playing table tennis and just living life. Then all of a sudden, the tragedy. But behind that celebrity angle, this reopened conversations about road safety in Nigeria. I mean, we've been talking about road safety in Nigeria, especially in Ibadan and Lagos Expressway, a country where accidents remain far too common and often deadly. So sometimes the biggest stories aren't just about fame, they are about how fragile things can really be. Now, let's move forward to another story. As Nigerians crossed into the new year, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu delivered a message many were listening to very closely. And according to him, 2026 marks a stronger phase of economic growth. He pointed to easing inflation, improved foreign reserves, rising investor confidence, and steady GDP growth, saying these tax reforms carried out in 2025 are beginning to show results. And then he mentioned stabilized exchange rates, stronger reserves, and plans to deepen tax reforms, infrastructure, development, and agriculture, even security operations. Now, whether Nigerians feel these numbers, yet there's a different conversation and an ongoing one at that. But as a new year message, the signal was clear. The government believes the hard part is easing and the focus now is delivery. So time will always tell. Time will always judge. Now, let's now end where Nigerians usually smile a bit, which is in football. Yes, every week we get to bring you stories about football. Nigeria's Super Eagles wrapped up the group stage in dominant fashion, beating Uganda 3-1 to finish top of Group C with a perfect record. And then we have Raphael Onyedika, who scored twice. Then we have Paul Onochu. Finally, he got his first international goal in 4 years. And Nigeria did all this while resting key players. Now, Uganda went down to 10 men after a red card. And from there, Nigeria took control. I mean, this performance sends a clear message. The Eagles are focused. The Super Eagles are really focused and they are efficient. Now, they are quietly building momentum after the disappointment of missing out on World Cup qualification earlier. Now, this group stage showing feels like a reset, calm, confident, and controlled. So we just keep our fingers crossed and then we'll see how all of this plays out at the end. So that is it. The stories that shaped the conversation as we stepped into a brand new year. You see how we started from emotional moments on stage to faith, controversy, and accountability to tragedy, leadership promises, and football giving us something to cheer up. Now, if there is one thing 2026 has already reminded us, it is the fact that life is layered, nothing is one note, and every headline has a human side. I'd like to see you same time next week on this particular show. And you need to follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do not forget to like and share. Also drop your thoughts in the comment section. I am Chidera Okere. Thank you for staying with us and Happy New Year once again.